myself.
I feel good about myself.
I feel good about the people around me.
I feel good about the people around me.
I feel goodness all around me.
I feel goodness all around me.
And it will follow me for the rest of my life.
And it will follow me for the rest of my life.
Cause I walk with good.
Cause I walk with good.
And I talk with good.
And I talk with good.
And I am good.
And I am good.
And that feels real good.
And that feels real good.
Good, better, best.
Good, better, best.
Never let it rest.
Never let it rest.
Until your good is your better.
Till your good is your better.
And your better is your best.
And your better is your best.
Black people.
Black people.
You were once great.
You were once great.
You shall be great again.
You shall be great again.
Lose not faith.
Lose not faith.
Lose not courage.
Lose not courage.
Go forward.
Go forward.
Uplift the race.
Uplift the race.
Harambe.
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 Spirituality supports reality. 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 Spirituality supports reality.
This is an African set, more respect. I saw the light and now I got to reflect straight back. Here's a little message while you live, and what I got to give is somewhat positive. Spade, the brother's gonna serve rhythmatically. Pass up on to you what was taught to me. That was Afrocentricity about being spiritual. So here we go to proceed quite lyrical. Praise the one for which I pledge my stand. Peace to the creator, word to the motherland. I got to give it up, cause I'm down with Casa. Jumped in the circle, I was told we have to stand together as one in unity. Amongst ourselves, amongst our community. Strong, repelling the interference of genocide. Luther King died to keep the dream alive. Mandela, the fella served 25, still revived. Speaking, teaching others to survive. And look towards the Nubian place. Your mind is a waste if you don't know your race or heritage. History of the Afro-American. Who's truly African? There's no comparison. We're all the same underneath the skin, whether dark or light. You might be my kin, so I relate to my brothers and my sisters. See, to the east, to the east, to the east of me. We traveled over here by slave ship. I dropped a bomb on the Uncle Tom, who ain't hip. Straight to the situation of the Asiatic nation. I slapped him in the face with righteous information, stating this, educating only facts and reality that's well supplemented by spirituality.
Spirituality supports reality. 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 Spirituality supports reality.
It's quite obvious who my ancestors were. It shows clear, but sometimes I see a blur of anger between me and the past. I look on to what I learned in school, but that's trash, the white man's words. So that's his story. For a sellout example, watch glory. Back to the present days, it's another thing. Ways, the culture, the language, the things that we're missing. Cast out your mind and start fishing. Listen for wisdom, seek words and knowledge. Peace is invited to the United Negro College. There's nothing to do with being black or white, but it's the state of common sense and knowing what's right, what's wrong, what's up and what's down. Put your eyes to the sky and 2 feet on the ground. Now how that sound from one who don't know much, but I know enough to flow. Speak my piece to each, my right, my freedom of speech, and at the same time teach a lesson, expressing myself like a riot. The voice of the unheard or the quiet, although the chains of bond have been broken, the shackles of the mind is still holding on the same. Just as a rope on the chain.
Oh, we about to start it, family. Turn on the Sprinkle family.
So let's show.
We gotta get the Sprinkle family. Oh, damn. Oh, man. Oh, it's up. Ooh, all right. Ooh, we kept it. Let's move. Let's move. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Uh-oh. What's going on here? All right. If I remember, that it? That's it right there. Oh, we got it up. It's up. Sprinkle's up. It's live. It's ready. I don't know what happened with the settings, but it got changed. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. This is Spade from the early 90s. Family, we about to kick it. It's going down. It's going down. Giving some of y'all some time to get up in the house. Let me see the black signal launch. Should I launch the black signal?
Ujima means collective work responsibility. I'm trying to get some knowledge, so listen to me. See, we are a community that does help ODs for all of our sisters and brothers' needs.
Nope, let's launch that black signal.
But we'll be better than one, so let's all unite and get the work done, such as joining hands and working on a master plan, so all the people of the motherland will understand to be more collective and responsible than the white man, cause I refuse to lose my faith and mentality. A strong black woman is what I plan to be, and I think I'm gonna make it, you see, cause all I need is God.
Oh, Ujima, we going live.
Ujima and me.
It's about to go down.
Ujima and me.
Man.
Ujima and me, cause all I need is God. Ujima and me.
Ujima's tomorrow. Wow.
Ujima and me. Ujima and me.
I should have saved this for the morning. But we about to go. It's about to go. We about to go.
It's crazy. Some of the things they do doesn't seem to amaze me. I just sit back, relax, and watch and observe. Our people are dying, so we need to emerge. Emerging the fact that you're black. I'm a Nubian sister, so step back. Knowledge, I'm trying to break it down to you. And everything you do selling crack, it ain't cool.
Let's get it. It's time to get started. Oh, we live on Instagram too, man. Oh, man. Well, if they let us on, you never know. I should stream on my Discord. I don't know what's going on. I should have streamed. Maybe I should. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Let's get it.
So his dream can last forever and ever. In the process of that, we can all be free. And all we need is God. Ujima and me.
Oh. Uh-oh. Shouts out to my auntie Georgia.
Ujima and
I see you out there.
Ujima and
man.
Me. All we need is God. Ujima
oh, man. We up. We live. Family, I want to welcome you tonight. We are doing Folktales for grown folks. Folktales for grown folks. Now let me see if I got the music for Folktales for grown folks. Yep, there we go right there. We about to go on and do the intro music for Folktales for grown folks. Give y'all some time to get out and grab y'all something to drink or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get ready, because we about to go on and let it off. Oh man, I've had enough. Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Giami Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.giamijourney.com. Giving the family time to come on in so we can have this conversation. Of course, you know black lines are open. God
standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked.
Oh, wrong one. Good God.
Neither will they understand.
But anyway, for those that want to get their ancestors on the daily toaster list.
I said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
There we go. Black lines open 614-556-4535. 614-556-4535.
This is Kadara Franks, and you are now listening to the Gianni Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adnan Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gianni Journey Radio.
All right, let's get it popping.
To have melanin embedded in our skin is a gift. Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black. Too strong? Yeah. We were born to be great. Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black. We were born to be great.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Gianni Journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. We'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Gianni Journey, and let's build together.
Sambo got to go. Sambo got to go. Sambo got to go. Sambo got to go. Everybody knows where they come from. Sigma Pi are not that dumb. Controlling black folks, they don't care. Putting trash on the air. Kill them if they don't leave us alone. Back to their master's throne. Pay the price for their hand in our fate. Fight them with more hate. Can't afford them no more. Sambo got to go. Our schools are filled with lies. Examine our people's cries. Our conditions says a lot about them. For power, who is him? Politician or in a pulpit? Give them all the cane stick.
Gianni Journey Radio.
All right, we should be back. We should be back up on our Spreaker. We should be back up Unless my server crashed. And that's what started to happen when we start getting crowds. I don't know what's be going on. Let's see how this is doing over here. On Giammi.
The lambs, Clarence, with father veins and the nice chanting, crumbling kingdoms that have the rulers resort to
first and then do that. There we go. We about to get it. We about to get it. You heard the man. We had enough. We had enough. We had enough. Family, it's about to go down here at Giammi Journey. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. Of course, you know that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giammi Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. And of course, you know this is Folktales for Grown Folks. And it's a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Man.
Too black.
Man, we about to get it now, right now. Here we go. Family, tonight we are about to discuss a folktale that may challenge who you are and what you thought. Man, I'm telling you, it deserves a crack of lightning from God. Listen to me. So I'm going to read the proverb. I'm going to open up the lines and we're going to have this discussion. We're going to have a grown folks conversation. So send the babies to bed. If they sitting up there looking at you in your face. You know what I'm saying? You might need to send the babies to bed because some of y'all might get mad. You might get heated because of some of the stuff that Brother Hatim is going to say. So what I want to do right now, which I should have did before while I was doing all those commercials, as a matter of fact, let me do one more set of commercials so that I could go and get this screen ready for y'all. So let's go and do this real quick.
Women, but most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks.
I'm looking up the proverb, family.
Affected by the Africans. That the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
Yep. So we hitting the coward. All right. All right. I wanted to put the button on this, but I think I'll remember it up to the point. I've actually, I actually learned time and time again, being on this. Sometimes I have a very profound thought, and then I have another one as you're talking, and as I wait, by the time you're done talking, I done forgot all of what the fuck I was gonna say. So I started, so I started, so I started writing it down. You mind going back to the coward and just bringing back that how many do yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna start off by saying that everybody dies. So everybody dies, but not everybody lives. A coward will make any excuse to elude his learning zone. Now, what do we know about the learning zone? The learning zone is outside of your comfort zone, and outside of your learning zone is the panic zone. So the closer one gets to the panic zone, the more he is confirmed in that learning zone where everything is strange and unfamiliar. That is where you are that is where you're able to become more expansive in your own world, in your own understanding. Okay? So no matter how imaginative his excuse is for not stepping out of his own comfort zone, it gives him permission not to learn outside of his own self-proclaimed rights, RITES. Um, and so, with all that being said, if you are not learning, you are not growing. And if you are not growing, you are just waiting to die.
Just waiting to die. If you are not growing, you are just waiting to die. Woo, man, I love this Ambrose. Woo, look at that. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see? Y'all see that shit? Oh my God. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Ooh, and the smoke is coming out as I pour it. Oh, look at that. Put that up on the camera. Oh my God, look at that. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Ain't nothing like the spirit. See, that's the spirit. All right, because the ancestors is with us here tonight. Family, listen. No amount of argument. No amount of argument. No arguments will give courage to the coward. And then this one says right here, "'Tis one thing to know what we ought to do, and another thing to execute it, and bring up our practice to our philosophy. He that is naturally a coward is not to be made valiant by counsel." Now listen, family, listen. I want y'all to think about this story. So let's go and look at it. We got this baby deer. This baby deer who's coming up under the example, of these larger deer, these grown deer. And his baby deer is looking at his examples of what he's going to become. And he is mesmerized by the fact that these big, strong creatures that he look up to, as soon as they hear the bark of a hound, are scared to death. And he could look at the hounds from a distance and he could tell that his elder should be able to beat the hell up out this dog. Maybe a couple of them. In his mind, figure out why his elders run at the very sound of these dogs, of these hounds. And what make it worse, in many of the stories that we read, many of the deer had come to the same conclusion and said they put it upon themselves to go and try that, but every time they hear the dogs cry, they become full of fear and they have to run. They have to run. They turn from the boss of the herd to the prey that they are. Many of us are the same way. Our community is led by deer who are scared of the hounds. And we're educating our young fawns to be us, scared of the hounds, fearful, terrified by something that we should be able to crush up under our goddamn feet. Now, family, let me say this to you, because the thought that's been on my mind all day, once again, is nation building. Y'all got to excuse the gnats. These gnats, they just, they love my ambrosia too. I love my ambrosia, especially the unfiltered. But anyway, I've been thinking about nation builder all day when I heard this. No amount of arguments will convince a coward to be brave. And many of us have been trying to convince cowards to be brave. Many of us know what we should be doing, but we can't drum up the courage to do it because it's been bred in us, because we done seen generation after generation do the exact same shit. So we take it as, this is the way it is. I don't know what it is. Every time I hear the sound of the police, right? Every time I hear authority, you know what I'm saying? I have to run. And in running, I give up my advantage. What is a nation? A nation is a stable, historically developed community of people with territory, economic life, distinctive culture, and a language in common. A stable, historically developed people. Stability. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that a nation is an illusion. It's an idea that a group of people have of unity. And a small group of those individuals understand that stability is very important, because within that stability, you're able to work the territory. Within that stability, you're able to make the territory grow and make it produce and make it create economic life for the people. But it has to be stable. And it takes brave men and women to keep it stable. It takes some men and women being willing to throw themselves into chaos, into instability, in order to maintain that shit. Many of us are caught up on illusions of war and false philosophies about how the world should be, rather than looking at the world for what it is. The world has always been about the big man takes from the little man. Always. Always. I want your resources. I don't give a fuck if I got a lot of resources. I want your resources. And I want your people to work for my people. That's what it's have always been about. And when you start giving up a little bit and start running when you hear the sounds of the enemy coming. See, I used to kind of wonder about when I first heard Professor X say freedom or death. And then you think about what is it? Patrick Henry says liberty. Give me liberty or give me death. Because those two things are, in a sense, partners. You can't have
But
one.
what do you make of William Wallace's freedom as he's being disemboweled?
Same thing. Freedom and death roll hand in hand. When you are free, you are always facing death. Always. Freedom is not free, and you can't even buy it. It's something that you have to fight for, because you always have individuals coming to try to take your stability, and in taking your stability, they take over your territory. In taking over your territory, they take control of your economic life. And in taking over your economic life, they take over they take your culture and your language and erase you from history. Family, we are in a point in time where we are facing critical choices as a group. You know what I'm saying? When is it time for us to start, one, being able to face the fact that the freedom that we may have been talking about, the liberation we may have been talking about, is never going to be given. The reparations we're talking about and all that shit is never going to be given. And Gianni, I try to keep it real with you. It ain't about asking and begging for that shit. It's about taking that shit. It's about putting these motherfuckers in a situation where they got to make a critical decision. Either we're going to be honest and tell you we ain't giving you shit. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing about us in our neighborhoods and our territory. You know what I'm saying? Where we are, we have to start taking command of that shit. Because once we start surrendering just a little bit, once you give up an inch, they're going to continue encroaching. You know what I'm saying? Cowards will come up with ways to make you feel good about surrendering slowly. Cowards will lace it with fancy philosophies and spiritual language and try to make you feel good about stepping back when you actually need to step forward. Because freedom and death go hand in hand. Because listen, Shaka said it. We all die. Some of us just trying to hang on to life regardless of what situation that we are in. Freedom or death? Freedom, how about freedom and death? All right, Shaka, go ahead.
Now, Tim, I'm this. You know, what's uncomfortable about when I tell my stories about me is that it takes me right back to a place, and so I wanna I'ma just say it. I remember one time, and anybody that has not done this ever, when you listen to this years from now or whatever, Google my government name. And today in 2020, on the top five searches comes up the determination, Hatem, from the court case that you went into the courts with me for. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you look that up, I want you to pay close attention to the liner notes at the very bottom, because honestly, when I called you earlier, Tim, in the back of my mind, I forgot about it. In the back of my mind, I was saying, you know what? We could do a whole conversation. Plan was for me to pay support within the 10-month period that he was conceived. I was actually I went down to Atlanta to sign a deal with Interscope. And this deal I fell back from. Not because I was afraid of becoming greater or nothing like that. It's the fact that I saw the whole play. I'm gonna sign this contract. It was a $300,000 one album deal. There was no money in it for me whatsoever at the door. But then to know, as I look behind me, there are people just rubbing their hands together and could not wait for me to get into the money so that they can take it from me and use my seed as leverage. You understand?
Right.
And when I came back home unsigned, oh, it messed up their whole situation. And they had to figure out a way to get that money. They never did. In fact, they applied for child support without even having custody of the child. And guess what? That support order was enforced. Are you hearing? Are you understanding what's going on so far?
Yeah.
Someone, okay? They enforced it. When they sent the letters out, it was like, hey, this is the amount of money that you owe on a monthly basis starting right now. I didn't pay it. No, never mind. Actually. And people around me saying, you know what they can do, right? If you don't pay that, you know what they can do.
Got it. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening. I had to kill that gnat. Motherfuckers getting on my nerves. Go ahead.
So that was the first month. After the third month, they start sending threatening letters. Pay this, or you ain't going to have no driver's license. We'll give you a little bit more time to get the monies together, because that's where they felt I was at in the picture. I wasn't thinking about the money. I was filing my motions and objecting to the magistrate's decision because I knew it to be a fraudulent order. Now, Hatem, what would have happened, if you can imagine, if I would have went to him and dropped $5 on that, no matter how much the order was? If I went downtown and dropped them $5 as a good faith gesture, what do you think would happen?
By you giving that inch, they would have turned it into a mile because you was admitting that they were right. They would take they would take advantage of that. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have been paying to that. You would have been paying that until your son was 21, possibly even if he was with you.
Yep. So here I am. People looking at me like, yeah, I'm gonna stand away from this dude right here because he ain't doing right. He gonna try to fight it. And in their minds, they telling me, man, ain't no way around it. You know, you need to get that together. If you got some money, give it to him. I'm talking about elders.
Yeah, because that's how we learn.
Elders.
Right.
And I'm saying, no. You don't understand. This ain't right. This ain't right. You know? And see, the piece is that they were stalling. They were getting more aggressive with their language, and they were trying to get me to react in such a way so that they can get that money. So first they threatened to take away my license, and then by 12 months in the mix, they say, well, by this time, if you don't pay us within a certain amount of time, we're going to send a sheriff over to your house and collect you.
And collect
So I
you.
took that letter to collect me. Take me, call me off the jail because I was 12 months late in an order that I wasn't studying. Because the motion.
Where's your son at? Where was your son at during all this time?
My son was in the care, if you want to call it that, of his maternal grandmother. All right? The order was with his mom, who was totally out of that household. Her mother called Children's Services on her and me to be able to get that check from me. So understand that you got generations of fuckery just waiting for their palms to be greased. And I wasn't studied. In fact, I took that letter down to the city hall, to the sheriff, and I held it up to their face, and I asked to them right now. And 4 sheriffs surrounded me. And I let them know, listen, the type of father that I am, I will live, I will die, or kill if need be to protect my bloodline. This is a declaration of war against my blood for a son that right now I don't know where he's at. And I didn't, because his grandmother was homeless at the time. His mother was homeless at the time. And so they're out there, wherever they were, just waiting for this money to fall through, like their lives depended on it. And I said, when y'all are able to help me find my son, then we'd have some business at hand. This right here, it doesn't exist. And so I'm letting you know, because it's y'all that they going to send out to my front step. And just know that when you get there, the same implements that you're using to intimidate me, I will have on the inside and ready to protect what is mine. I tell you, and everybody listening, and everybody in the future who's listening to this, understand this. The following week, I got a letter from child support. You know what it read on the top? Findings and recommendation to terminate administrative child support order. The system doesn't work unless you fear it. The system that they have against you, that they cause you to fear, does not work without the fear.
So you saying that the system is the hounds, and we have been trained to shake when they bark?
Now,
did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you.
Y'all hear that? One of those hounds is that system. They send us a letter. We start to sweat. And we don't know why. We was just cussing everybody out in the house. We was just arguing down motherfuckers on the street. They send a letter. And you hear the sound of that hound and you start quivering. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm not coming here to speak to you as someone who has not felt this. But I'm coming to you as someone that's saying, we have to stop. We have to stop. We're fearing a toothless hound toothless hound that has been keeping us in a position that has not benefited us at all. Right now during COVID-19. But go ahead, especially during COVID-19. Go ahead.
Now let me put this in the mix, because this is a little twist. See, Hatim, I've never been of the herd. You know this of me. I have never been of the herd. I've been very much an individual. And in my world, there's a process. I'm a Mac living in the world that's PC. You got to interface if you want to build with me. The experience of the herd, however, it's the experience of the herd to know the nature of the pack. So one bark, they already know what's up. That means where there's one, there's more. Because they're pack animals. They're pack animals. And when the packs move, they're hunting.
But hold on, Shaka, I got to correct you there.
What's that?
So now I want you to think about this. The hound, wolves don't bark like that. Hounds bark because they're trained to bark so that their masters can follow them in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a domesticated dog, which don't necessarily act with a pack mentality. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it does, but
I do.
Wolves
okay.
will be at your throat before a sound is made. Wolves sneak up on them or will be at a full sprint and you won't hear them. Dogs bark so that the masters can follow them, so that they know where that deer is or where that animal that's being pursued is. That's what the bark is for. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I mean that changes the whole story.
Yeah, it's about
the whole
right. Oh yeah. The hound's got a master, dog. So it ain't just because it ain't just the hounds that fear that feels to deal with fear. You see, when we look at these stories for grown folks, we gotta go deep with them. We gotta deep dive with them. You understand what I'm saying? Because the lesson in there is for us to really start deep thinking. A hound, they would have said a wolf. They would have said the pack. No, they used the example of the hound. That's something that smells, that's been trained for smell by human beings to track the deer. And when they hear the wailing of a hound, that means that not only are the hounds coming, but also the hunters coming as well. But go ahead. The hunter.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting how this conversation is going, because I'm gonna tell you what, I was having a conversation last night, and oh wow, it came into the it went into the conversation of the initiation of what they call the Illuminati, right? And in that, Jay-Z and Beyonce's name came up, the Harvey's dude, what's his name, Weinstein or whatever. And then it got into a conversation about the drinking of blood and the devouring and eating children for their adrenal gland. Have you ever heard anything pertaining to this at all?
No, I don't get into that shit. I let when motherfuckers start talking about that, I change the channel. I really do. I'm just saying. So be ready, just in case you get too deep into that shit. But go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying. This is the thing, and it's not, and it's at the point where it's not myth anymore because of course, it's been discovered, and it's some real sick stuff going on out here.
Oh, we know some sick stuff going on out here, but I got a question. If the Illuminati is as powerful as they are and as secret as they are, how is it that the average motherfucker at a barbershop could be sitting with you talking about the rights of the Illuminati?
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, a simple question that Tupac brought to the world when niggas was talking to him about what the Illuminati was doing and why he was in jail. This is why he called his album Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the top secret organization in the world. A motherfucker could tell you exactly what Jay-Z and Beyonce went through in order to be part of this organization. So you got to ask the question, how the fuck do you know this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what I can listen to is because that's a myth. I'm a mythic dude. I love myths. I love stories. What that is talking about is a group of individuals that are so committed to what they're doing that they would do anything to maintain their power. So the question we have to be able to,
and I guess when
go ahead,
and you have the luxury, Hatem. You have the luxury to walk away from that conversation. There were 80,000 black women that went missing last year who don't necessarily have that luck. It comes to even right now in the circles that are really trying to heal our society. There are dollars that are going towards however folks can cripple the sex trafficking, not the or the what do you call it? But just a whole abduction.
Right.
But
that shit is not new. That shit is not new. I mean, Europe. I want you to think about this. If you ever go and you read the story about what Rome did to Carthage after the Third Punic War, you will understand why there's over 80,000 black women that have disappeared. Because do you know where Carthage is right now?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because they tore that shit down. They plowed that shit under. They sold they murdered all the men, and they sold all the women and children into slavery. It's just been going on since the beginning of time. When you are a defender, make yourself available for all types of fuckery. That's not no Illuminati shit. That's some basic human shit. And it ain't that I have the luxury. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, Shaka. It ain't the fact that I had a luxury to walk away from that shit. Because I'm affected by black women disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But I have the luxury to do other things to try to make sure that I'm able to stay in contact with the black women in my life to make sure that they're not disappearing. I don't have the luxury to sit around with a motherfucker that's theorizing. I ain't got the luxury to be sitting around with a motherfucking deer that's sitting up there banging his chest about what he know rather than getting out here and doing the goddamn work.
Right.
The motherfuckers that's talking about these theories and shit like that is the motherfuckers that have luxury. I don't have the luxury for that shit. I got 2 little girls upstairs right now. I'm surrounded by a school of young ladies that I feel personally responsible for.
Right.
So it ain't me with the luxury. It's the niggas that's sitting around gossiping about that shit that has the luxury.
Right. Right.
What infrastructure are you trying to build? What are you trying to put in place to make sure that shit don't happen? Nigga, we got open neighborhoods where anybody could drive in anything, and drive out with human beings. Open neighborhoods. Anybody could open up a store and do anything out the back and do anything. We got niggas that living in our community that are able to do anything that they want. And we worried about the Illuminati.
Right.
That's luxury. Real work. I don't got time to be theorizing about that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's enough ruthless, principleless individuals that look like me, that claim to be part of our tribe, part of our family, that is doing dastardly shit and helping these women disappear and chasing these women into the hands of motherfuckers that's abusing them. So motherfuckers that's out there theorizing, them the motherfuckers with the luxury. I don't live a luxurious life. I just start sleeping in bed 4 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not on that shit. So when niggas start theorizing about that type of shit and want to have those conversations, I don't have time to have those conversations with you, because nigga, if that shit is working for them, then what in the fuck are you doing? If they have conspiracies, where's your conspiracy so that your generations will be able to survive? Because these motherfuckers are willing to eat babies, then we don't need to be in the barbershop talking about this shit. We need to be at the gun range. We need to be out in the woods practicing survival. We need to be going and training our young warriors. We need to be getting inside men and shit. We need to be buying politicians and being able to control fucking cities. Niggas that's sitting around theorizing, them is the motherfuckers with the luxury. I don't have luxury, nigga. I don't got time. My vacations is in the motherfucking tub. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, dig this. Now, you know, I got a daughter that's grown, but still needs to know how to protect herself. And so, in instilling that last year, she wrote a song called Tribe Up out of my rule for her. When you leave this house, you don't leave without tribe. That doesn't know what I will do if you don't come back here unharmed. That should be standard for tribe. That's how deathly it is for us out here now. Is we need to always be accounted for. And we need to always move with those who are ready to protect. And so the piece is, though, is how Tim is to not allow them to go out of the house with someone who calls himself tribe, but has their own agenda, because they might not have the wherewithal of the dangers that's out there. They might not have the understanding that, you know, we are perceived as the cattle and nothing more.
Then they not trying.
You know,
if they don't understand that, then they're not tribe. See, because part of being part of a tribe is understanding who you are, where you are, and why you are. We was brought over here. Many of us can trace our lineage back. We were brought over here to be the motherfuckers that's disappearing, like you just described with black women. We was disappeared.
Yeah.
Many of us was bred experimentally. Come on, family. You know what I'm saying?
And what was that? Help me remember a few years ago when we were talking about black men being so was it in Africa?
Oh yeah, that was in present day Iran.
Present day Iran.
Mm-hmm. And it ain't the only place. You know what I'm saying? Because we go to the Emirates. You know what I'm saying? All, like a lot of those Central Asians, man, they do that shit. I mean, that's normal shit. That's normal business. That's normal business. You know what I'm saying? And we do and we support the United States doing business like that, family. Doing business with people like that. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. You know, it's like it comes a time. Because it's like, yo, family, because, you know, like I said, what we trying to do at Giammi Journey is it's like, if we're going to get serious about nation building, we're going to get serious about taking care of our community, we going to have to make sure that the community is taking care of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are, that their food, their sustenance come from that community. Their home comes from that community.
Mm-hmm.
And they are full-time in that community because the community is providing for them. See, a lot of this money that's going to pastors that aren't doing nothing need to be going to pastors or going to community organizers that are doing something for the community. Family, we are paying spiritual tithes to individuals that are not benefiting you at all. We need to go and start finding those individuals in our communities and start lifting some individuals up that will be bold enough to talk for your community and to rally and organize motherfuckers against the fuckery.
And that's what's broken about that. Even in that faith-based division. But the thing is that it's, to whose benefit is it for a pastor to say, I can't protect you the way that you paying me to protect you? To whose benefit? Right?
Right.
See, but also at the same time, if you were to tell the truth, that, well, the truth is different for each one, you know,
right.
Because there are those who truly believe that, hey, you know, if I've done my best, that's all I can do. But on a mass level, I see it happening where it's like, hey, if I told you the truth, I wouldn't have a church. I wouldn't have a congregation.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy lies the crown.
You
know?
I don't even think they got crowns, family. You just got incomes. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the tradition, when shit is not going right with the king is supposed to be sacrificed or removed.
Mm-hmm.
When it's something as simple as there's a drought out in this motherfucker. What's going on? They get rain during the Malcolm X festival this year. Somebody, we need a blood sacrifice. Where the king at? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They was responsible for everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, you know what is so funny, man, is that it's funny we having this conversation, number one. I think it's a Netflix show. I knew it was going to be corny when I saw that Justin Powell was in it. But wasn't nothing else to watch, so I put it on. It's called, what's it called? Saints and Sinners? I think that's the name of the song. The show is Saints and Sinners. And it's all around, it evolves around the church. And hypocrisy. The whole thing. You got drug deals and murders and all this kind of stuff happening, all revolving around a particular church family. And so I remember when we used to have conversations, one of the things that was brought out about, oh my goodness, my mind's buffering. Give me a second. talking about the congregations. I'm talking about how faith-based organization is the number 2 largest business in America. Number 2 to what?
Entertainment,
prison,
and sex. Oh, what?
Prison.
I don't know if it's number. I don't know. I mean, prisons make a lot of money, but entertainment and churches, I don't know. We got to look at those numbers. Entertainment and churches. Actually, I would throw churches into the category of entertainment at this point in time.
Hey.
I mean, I'm just saying. Because when you talk about entertainment, you got to talk about music, you got to talk about movies, you got to talk about books, and then we could throw churches in there too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Prison ain't nowhere near that shit.
Mm.
I mean, think about it. Disney. Disney could literally go toe to toe with Amazon. I'm just saying, we don't even know how much money Disney got. That's a total entertainment company. We don't even know how much money Disney got. We know
Disney has a patent on anything that looks like a hero. NBA. For real. Disney owns ESPN. Disney owns Marvel.
I'm just saying. They understand the power of stories. They understand the power of stories. That's where we, you know what I'm saying? That's where we're missing the boat. You know what I'm saying? It's about the power of the story. You know what I'm saying? What is our story? And are we telling our story? You know what I'm saying? Are we telling our story right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are we putting the emphasis on our story? Do we have a soundtrack for our story? Do we have the heroes? Or we got the wrong heroes for our stories? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? A lot of our shit is based around this doe or this deer who, when he hears the sound of the hounds, he begins to run. And you can't build a nation like that, family. We can't build a tribe like that, family. You can't even build a family like that, family.
You know, the thing is that people today, I heard, people are so afraid because they see the evidence that we being fattened up for the kill. Like, hey, everybody gets money. We all get money. We just had this $2 trillion, the biggest stimulus ever in American history. And we're about to close on an even bigger one.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. We being fattened for the kill. How much of that shit went to us? How much that went to fattening up? See, because I'm about to argue that shit.
I didn't get it.
You weren't gonna get it, right? Because I'm saying, but how much of that? Out of that $2 trillion, how much of that went to the fattening up?
I couldn't answer that.
About $325 billion. That got everybody that got their check and got checks coming below $500 billion. So there ain't no fattening up going on. Nigga, we slimming down. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is this. Because our deer and our dog moment may be coming. Because you hit me to what state, the resolution 6666, right? By Bobby. And I was kind of surprised. I seen Bobby Rush's name on there, right? Now, there is, I posted that up on my timeline. I want y'all to read that because we need to talk about that during our toast and talk on this weekend, right? House Resolution 6666, 4 6s, right? Not 18, but 24. Breaks down to be 6 again. But anyway, now, but really, because what's coming is vaccinations, family. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that there's going to be a vaccination. And many of you going to have to make a decision. Like flu shots and all. I don't take that shit.
Now, here's the thing, Tim. What you're talking about is the final installment of the New World Order, because this is the way it's always. Now, and they not just giving you a vaccination out of that syringe. That's gonna be where the chips go in you and everything. That's why the sense get out of my face with that, son. You see me talking. All of this is happening during the time of the census. They want to know what the count is in every household.
Wait, stop. Let me say this. Black family, do the goddamn census. Yeah, because that's political. Now, let me say this to you, Shaka, and I'm gonna say this: the New World Order has been in effect for the last 30 years.
Right.
So we moving into the old world order, or we might be moving into New World Order 2.0. Y'all need to specify, because all this shit that y'all talking about is already all that shit that went by. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of my elders told me the other day, I want to support Giame, but I'm gonna have to send you a check. And I had to think about the last time I actually had a check in my hand. Many of us are not even using cash. Mm-hmm. So this New World Order shit that motherfuckers is talking about, man, that shit is y'all missed that boat. That shit is already gone. We already there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm saying, like right now,
they don't need to know where you at. You got a fucking phone. You probably on the phone right now talking to me. They know exactly where the fuck you at. I'm just saying.
Now, do you remember in the sci-fi story I wrote that the phone? Now, keep in mind, I wrote this over a decade ago. But the phone was replaced by the thing called an entity, NTD, a neurotransmission device. And the sexy thing about the neurotransmission device is that you don't even have to talk to give speaking commands to like you do for the smartphone, and you talking to these AI. You don't even have to use words. You just use thought commands. So if I got the implant, you got the implant, Jim, even with you being where you at, we're seemingly telepathic because I'm exchanging data from my implant to your implant. And so when I hit you on the different information, or you hit me on with the information, you sending that data straight to what's implanted in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've been thinking it all this time. They've been thinking it since before 1984. But in 1984, they thought it was going to be. And then when it didn't happen in 84, then it was going to happen in 2000.
Hold on. 1984 was written by a dude. That didn't, possibly ain't had shit to do with any of that, dog. You know what I'm saying? That was his prediction. As a matter of fact, I think the way the story goes, he was going to name the book something else that had to do with the time he was in. And they said, homie, hold on. We see the way this world that you talk about right now, if we would be able to sell this book, because motherfuckers would look at this shit and be like, I'm not buying this depressive shit. You got to set it in the future. So he picked the year 1984. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He picked the year 1984 and made the book a future, but he was talking about the time that he was living in then. You know what I'm saying? 1984 wasn't a target date. 1984 was a date that he set so that motherfuckers would be able to read the book and be comfortable, because they wouldn't been able to read the book knowing that he was talking about what the fuck was going on in his time. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, that's why I don't be fucking with a lot of these conspiracy dudes and shit like that. That shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they be coming with partial shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, I do the same thing sometimes too, so I can fuck with y'all a little bit. But, I'm just like, yo, I ain't saying y'all, but you know what I'm saying. We could talk a little bit.
Well, you see, and that is the power of allegory.
and story. It's the same thing with the scriptures. It's the same thing with the Bible. It's the same thing with the tales from Kemet. It's the same thing with the tale from Babylon. It's the same. The human being is a pattern finding being. We will find patterns to support our fuckery or to support our principles. We're going to find it. We're going to find it. Without, you know what I'm saying? That's how we design. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's why a lot of this shit I take with a grain of salt, because motherfuckers, the human being is uncomfortable. Once again, that he's unstable without some type of explanation. Why does the sun rise? So until we got science, these motherfuckers had a reason why the sun rise, or better yet, why the earth rise, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need that. We need that. You know what I'm saying? And
I know, Elder.
when there's not one there, we create the shit. So that we can feel comfortable, so that we can have some stability, so that economics can go. Because if I'm unsure, I'm not spending my money. This is why it's important for them with the stimulus bill. This is what a lot of people don't understand. They gave you one stimulus bill, but a lot of motherfuckers are out of work. So what a lot of people are doing is holding on to the stimulus bill. They're holding on to that stimulus money because they don't know when they're going to get some more money. They don't know how long they're going to be working. So now they need more stimulus money so they can encourage people to go out and spend money. Because by people holding on to money, it's going to cause the economy to crash. Simple. Right? Because it makes sense. Right. If I don't know when my next money is coming, I'm going to spend all it. I'm going to hold on to this shit. Right? But these motherfuckers is going to have to drop some more money so that you can feel secure enough to call Amazon and to get some packages delivered by FedEx. And to get Whole Foods to drop you off some food and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel comfortable to spend that shit. So they're going to have to come some more money. Go ahead.
So in October, now you remember when we got these, these licenses that we got, the driver's license, when they first started printing them on this plastic instead of the laminated ones? Remember the laminated ones?
Yeah. I'm old enough to remember that.
How many years have we had this plastic one in our pocket with the little hologram on it?
I don't know.
And a barcode on the back.
I don't know. I just want a license. I just want a license.
That was somebody's idea. That was, I feel like was a premature shoot of what they're trying to do right now. Because all the stimulus money coming out, I mean, are they really printing all this money right now?
They don't have to print the money. That's what
exactly.
People. They don't have to print the money. I mean,
exactly.
If you file electronically, you got an electronic buzz to let you know that money was in your account. So no, they're not printing all that goddamn money. What they're doing is motherfuckers is able to spend money on their cards or on their phones. So they don't have to print up all that money. You understand what I'm saying? So the money that motherfuckers is complaining about really don't exist. We are operating on a total belief economy. It's the belief of the people and the belief of the people in the world in the American dollar that makes it possible for us to do what we do. So I could tell you I'm about to do a $2 trillion stimulus bill. I want you to think about this shit, Shaka. You just said they did a $2 trillion stimulus bill. They gave us maybe, I'm saying below 500 billion. Where the rest of that money go?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? They buying junk bonds. They didn't offer the stock market unlimited. No, they offer banks an unlimited supply of money. They even give them a roof. We just gonna.
You know what, Hachem? What's so crazy? What's so critical about it, man? Okay. No, I was just scared to think about it, but gotta go there. Americans we get this stimulus money, and then we still dying off. Da, 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 da. If it's electronic, what happens to that money once an individual expires?
There is no money. Unless there was an account there, then the next of kin will be able to have access to that account. But in a lot of cases, that money may just disappear. See? You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like the actual currency is there.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be. It don't have to be accessible for the next of kin. And in most cases, most mother people might not even have next of kin on their bank account, so the bank don't even have to give you the money.
Now, here's the other thing about that too, man. Is that I remember I knew a guy, a musician, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this musician did every drug under the sun. And this musician, man, I'm gonna tell you what. This is the craziest. I haven't thought about this since probably about 12 years ago. The white guy, and he comes to me and he's like, one day he's like, "Oh man, I'm kind of bummed out. Grandmother passed away. I don't know what I'm gonna do." He came over my house, was jamming on his guitar and shit, and made him feel good. Sent him home. Then next week comes by. He's like, "Man, I can't believe this. Grandfather's dead now." Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, we go through the same thing. You need some powerful words. I got you. Now dig this. He comes back the following week, and he says, "Shaka, what do you want to do musically?" He's like, "Because I got to be there with you." He's like, "You don't understand. For the life of me, I got to be there with you." And I said, what is your state of urgency? Because I'm with my musician. If I don't know you, you coming at me like that, I'm that Lake Minnetonka dude. Like this is that individual who's saying, like, whatever I got to do to get down with you, let me know. And his state of urgency was this. This man was strung out on whatever drug was close to him. He just inherited his grandparents' estate with more money than he trusted himself with. He said, "Shaka, if I don't have someone like you to ground me, then this money's going to kill me." You follow?
Yeah. Yeah. Inheritance. A lot of us don't know anything about that type of shit.
And I'm just saying that a lot of folks that's getting this stimulus. I mean, I was on a site, and you got cats like, on a live streaming site.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, showing these stacks of money to the ladies, like, "Yo, I do this all the time." And in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I bet you that's $1,200 to the T.
Hey, listen, a fool and his money is soon parted. If you want to kill a fool, give him a bag full of money. Listen, all those philosophies stand. And listen, some people may need to go. We got to be clear about that shit, Shaka. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm done. I that's why I trained up younger people, because they can have the patience with some of these motherfuckers. Some people need to be gone.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? If you gonna fuck over your money and you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm streaming better now. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, and I had some other shit going because but anyway, The whole piece is I'm streaming better now. I'm building up on what I'm doing. You're going to do, money is going to help you do and become who you are. So if you a nigga that want to spend $1,200 on some pussy, by all means, go on and have at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in your pocket. I don't care. If they come out with universal income and that's what you want to, that's how you want to spend your time, by all means do that. You know what I'm saying? You could do that, right? I, on the other hand, and me and mine, right? Me and mine, we building. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to learn how to establish our borders so that those motherfucking, those that are involved with fuckery and bitchcraft, you know what I'm saying, will not be allowed to cross into our borders. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Because the purging got to start. The purge, as far as us as a group, is going to have to happen. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not allowed. Everything cannot be allowed. You can't do as thou wilt with us. We can't do that. We can't allow that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that's eating us up. You know what I'm saying? Do as thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers criticizing Jay-Z for wearing that shirt, but motherfuckers been living their lives like that for the last 25 years. Doing as thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I ain't got time for that shit. But listen, I want to thank you for joining me on Giammi Journey, family. Hopefully we did the folk tale some justice. We had a good conversation here tonight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk a little bit about this because this is the folk tale of the week. You know what I'm saying? Let me read that. Let me read that moral for your ass again. No arguments will give courage to the coward. But actually, my favorite one is this one. Got it highlighted. 'Tis one thing to know what we ought to do, and another thing to execute it, and to bring up our practice to our philosophy. He that is naturally a coward is not made valiant by counsel. Did somebody else just join the line right when we was about to hang? Who else joined the line? Trying to trick me to stay on the line. Shaka done text somebody, told him to come on up here from 216. Who this?
That's right. It sure is. Someone joined the line.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. How can I help you?
I just got the message to call in, and I guess it was sent an hour ago.
Yes, ma'am.
I missed it, so I thought I'd sign on anyway from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. But we're about to close the show down unless you got some fire to just keep us popping off.
If I invited them, hang on out for a second, Tim, because if I invited her, she got fire.
I understand, but you got to understand, you're a musician. I am not. Y'all used to late night sessions, but go ahead, my mom. What's your name, mama?
Wybon.
Wybon?
Yeah, no, wait, Tim.
Yes.
That is Griot Wybon.
Oh, okay. So we just was talking about a story.
Brother Hatim Wybon.
Thank you.
We will.
You know, Shaka, you know what it is? It's that time that movie rolls behind my eyelids. And I just happened to look at this before I was drifting off. So I'm just calling in to say a greeting and go ahead and shut down. And I'll catch you on the next one on time.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, well, I was late. So, But anyway, so family, I want to thank y'all for taking the time, for joining us in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giammi Journey Media. We have just had folk tales for grown folks, and hopefully we have done justice with our conversation towards the folk tale of the night. And it's the Heart of a Summer production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms.
Too black.
Your animals asleep, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know how they go. My spiritual animals, they was trying to hang in there. They like me right now. You know what I'm saying? But yo, family, I want to thank y'all. Make sure y'all check out GNJmedia.live. You know what I'm saying? Check out. We got the Lady Warriors ROP.com. Go there and check out their book for those that are interested in doing rites of passage for young ladies. This is a very, very good book with some commentary from young ladies that's going through the process. Also, we have Dr. Kelsey's book out. You know what I'm saying? 11 Steps Considerations for Empowering African-Centered Organizations at MaribaKelsey.com. Go on and check that out. And also, you can check out our free e-course so that you can go and get down with the tribe. Free G&J e-course. Free G&J e-course. Go and become part of the tribe family. This is Brother Hatim, and I am out.
Good night.
Good night.
Minute by minute. Minute by minute. Hour by hour. Hour by hour. You lose your history. You lose your history. You lose your power. You lose your power. Minute by minute. Minute by minute. Hour by hour. Hour by hour. You lose your faith. You lose your faith. You lose your power. You lose your power. If it is to be. If it is to be. It's up to me. It's up to me. I feel good about myself. I feel good about myself. I feel good about the people around me. I feel good about the people around me. I feel goodness all around me. I feel goodness all around me. And it will follow me for the rest of my life. And it will follow me for the rest of my life. Cause I walk with good. Cause I walk with good. And I talk with good. And I talk with good. And I am good. And I am good. And that feels real good. And that feels real good. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Until your good is your better. Until your good is your better. And your better is your best. And your better is your best. Black people. Black people. You were once great. You were once great. You shall be great again. You shall be. Courage. Lose that courage. Go forward. Go forward. Uplift the race. Uplift the race. Harambe. 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 Harambe.
Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality.